Hello everyone, welcome you all in this next class, and here we are going to discuss characteristic strength and characteristic load. And after understanding this, you will also understand design strength and design load. So as you are seeing here, we are going to first of all understand what is characteristic strength and what is characteristic load. See, in any structure there are three things. The first thing is the strength of the structure. स्ट्रक्चर की कितनी शक्ति है. Second thing is the external load that is going to be applied on the structure. बाहर से कितना लोड लगने वाला है. And the third thing is deflection. Because load is the cause and deflection is the effect. And all these three things we study as strength, load and deflection. So in this class we will try to focus on strength and load only. If you understand this topic, the understanding of limit state method will not remain very difficult for you, and I am very sure that you will understand it very easily. Just be patient and just watch it till the end, and you will understand it very easily. So let us begin with the characteristic strength first. The definition of characteristic strength goes as it is the value of the strength of material. Material can be concrete, wood or a steel. In our case, steel is the material. So it is the value of the strength of the material below which not more than 5% of the test results are expected to fall. In simple words, we can say that अगर हमने 100 टेस्ट किया और हमें 100 रिजल्ट्स आए, तो हम उस रिजल्ट को मानेंगे कैरेक्टरिस्टिक स्ट्रेंथ को कि जिसके ऊपर 95 रिजल्ट्स सेटिस्फाई कर रहा है, कि 95 स्पेसिमेन के जो रिजल्ट्स हैं उस रिजल्ट की वैल्यू से ज़्यादा है, मात्र 5 ही रिजल्ट्स हैं जो उस रिजल्ट से कम है. सो वी कैन इग्नोर दोज 5% वैल्यूज एंड वी कैन एक्सेप्ट द प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ 95% विच इज इन आवर सपोर्ट. सो दैट स्ट्रेंथ वी कंसीडर. 95% हमारे पास चांस है कि जो हम प्रेडिक्ट करने वाले एक्सपेरिमेंट से वही सच होगा. सो लेट अस अंडरस्टैंड इट बाय अ ग्राफ. देयर आर टू एक्सिस. दिस इज एक्स एक्सिस and this is your y axis. On x axis we keep strength. On the y axis we will keep frequency. Frequency means the number of times that a result has occurred. So the graph looks like this. Such a curve is called normal distribution curve, and in this curve you can see this is the value which has occurred most of the time, and this value is called sigma m. Sigma m is the value of mean strength. It's not the characteristic strength. This is the mean strength of the all the test results that you have obtained. Then what is characteristic strength? Characteristic strength is sigma cr. As per the definition of characteristic strength, we know that sigma cr is the value of strength, that strength below which not more than 5% of the test sample fail. And out of this 100% area, if we consider this 5% area of normal distribution curve, and this the strength corresponding to this area is called sigma cr. So characteristic strength is always less than mean strength. And you must have studied the normal distribution curve in first semester mathematics, how the areas are calculated and the values are calculated. So the 5% area corresponds to the value k times s from the mean value. What is k and what is s? So k is basically a constant of normal distribution curve which depends on the percentage that you take. If we take 5%, the constant value for 5% area is 1.68. And what is this S? S is standard deviation. Standard deviation can be calculated by using this formula. S is equal to root under. If you have performed n tests, then in denominator you can write n minus 1. Sometimes students do a silly mistake by writing n instead of writing n minus 1. So note this, n minus 1. And in the numerator, we have to do a summation. There is extensive calculation from I equal to 1 to n. Summation of what? Sigma I minus sigma m square. If you do this formula, you will get standard deviation sure shot. And finally, you can calculate the characteristic strength sigma. Cr is equal to sigma m minus 1.68 times s. See why this minus term has come? Because sigma Cr is always less than sigma m, as we have seen in the curve. अगर किसी को याद रखना है तो एक ट्रिक है कि हम अपनी स्ट्रेंथ छुपा करके रखते हैं. हम अपनी स्ट्रेंथ ज़्यादा दिखाते नहीं, जब ज़रूरत पड़ती है तो दिखाते हैं, लेकिन हम स्ट्रेंथ कम ले करके चलते हैं, ठीक है, ताकि अगर कोई इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन आती है तब हम अपनी रिजर्व स्ट्रेंथ को यूटिलाइज कर पाएंगे. तो हम हमेशा स्ट्रेंथ को कम करके बताते हैं. सिग्मा Cr is less than sigma m. Alright, so this is all about characteristic strength. Now let us understand characteristic load. अगर आपने characteristic strength अच्छे से समझ लिया है तो आपके लिए characteristic load को समझना ज़्यादा कठिन नहीं होगा. So let us go by the definition. Characteristic load is that value of load which has a 95% probability of not being exceeded during the life of the structure. Structure की पूरी life में 95% श्योर शॉट चांस है कि इससे ज़्यादा लोड नहीं आएगा. So that load is considered as characteristic load. Let us draw the normal distribution curve for characteristic load also. The load that is going to come on the structure follows the same pattern like normal distribution curve as we have seen in the previous case. This is the value of load which has occurred most of the time. So this value of load is called mean load, Fm. If we go by the definition of characteristic load, we know that 95% chance है कि load उससे ज़्यादा नहीं होगा. तो if the area of normal distribution curve is 100%, then we take the 95% of the area. If this area of normal distribution curve is 95% of the total area, then the load corresponding to this 95% area is called FCR, where Fm is the mean load and FCR is the characteristic load. The distance between Fm and FCR is the same as Ks, and K is the constant, and the value of constant is same for x% or 100 minus x%. So the value of K is going to be same for 5% or 100 minus 5, that is 95%. So value of K is again 1.68, and S is again the standard deviation. The formula of a standard deviation is going to be the same as we have discussed in the previous case. So we can say FCR is equal to Fm plus Ks. Why this plus sign has come? Plus sign here because FCR is always greater than Fm. Again the same trick goes here also. जैसा हमने पिछले केस में डिस्कस किया, अगर हम कोई बाहर से खतरा एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे होते हैं तो हम उसे 95% चांस देते हैं कि हो सकता है खतरा यहाँ तक आ सकता है. डिज़ाइन को हमेशा वर्स्ट टू वर्स्ट केस में किया जाता है कि 95% चांस है कि इससे ज़्यादा लोड नहीं आएगा पूरे लाइफ स्पैन ऑफ द स्ट्रक्चर में. सो दिस इज योर फॉर्मूला फॉर कैरेक्टरिस्टिक लोड and this is your formula for characteristic strength. After understanding characteristic load and characteristic strength, naturally the question comes that which value of load and which value of strength I am going to finally use in my problems while designing a steel component. So that value is called design load and design strength. There must be a relationship between design load and characteristic load. So one point that you can learn from this video is that in case of a strength, we keep our strength little reserved, whereas in case of load, we try to take the worst to worst situation. So the factor that relate design load with characteristic load is called partial safety factor. Partial safety factor is also of two types: partial safety factor for loads and partial safety factor for materials. Partial safety factor is always greater than 1, and partial safety factor is represented by gamma, and gamma is always greater than 1. So now let us relate design load with characteristic load. So load के केस में हम वर्स्ट टू वर्स्ट केस लेंगे, तो पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर को कैरेक्टरिस्टिक लोड में मल्टीप्लाई कर देंगे. तो डिजाइन लोड इज इक्वल टू पार्शियल सेफ्टी फैक्टर multiplied by characteristic load, and when partial safety factor is used for loads, it is written as gamma f. Similarly, in case of a strength, we divide the characteristic strength by partial safety factor gamma to get the value of design strength, and when the partial safety factor is used in case of a strength, it is written as gamma m, and this is the formula. Gamma f is also called sometimes as load factor. Just like you must have seen in the load combination 1.2 times dead load plus 1.5 live load. So these values are partial safety factor for loading, and they are always greater than 1, and they are multiplied with the loading so that we can get design load. Gamma m is equal to 1.5 in case of concrete and 1.25 for steel. So we are going to study steel, so our main focus is here. Gamma m is equal to 1.25. So this was all about partial safety factor, which relates our design load or design strength with the characteristic load and characteristic strength of the material. So we will surely discuss a numerical from this topic in the next video. Till that, stay tuned and be safe. We'll meet very soon. Thank you.